Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, one character in the Bible that I always think is a perfect role model for youth of every generation is Joseph. Of course, he might be arrogant, headstrong when he was a boy, but he knew that he was the chosen one, and he always remained sincere and righteous both to God and man. On one side of the story, we find that life has not been fair with him. Joseph's brothers tried to kill him and later made a profit of him by selling him to slave traders. For all intents and purposes, he was dead for them, at least in their minds. They were successful in deceiving their father, Jacob, about Joseph's demise. And Jacob had to endure tremendous grief thinking of his favored son. Joseph had a special place in Jacob's heart because he was born to his beloved wife Rachel. On the other side, the story shows that Joseph was not resentful, and it shows how he overcame the greatest temptation any youth can face. Let us concentrate on one of the common temptations youth are prone to face, and that is the temptation of seduction. In Joseph's case, the advances of Potiphar's wife to seduce him. When I use the word youth, I refer to both men and women, as both are equally vulnerable to temptations. Let us read Genesis 39th chapter verses 7 to 10. Genesis chapter 39 verses 7 to 10. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, Lie with me. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, Behold, my master wortheth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to lie by her or to be with her. Imagine a woman making advances towards a young man. He tries to stop her advances, but the woman persists. She might even question his manliness or potency. His male ego will be hurt. The woman may use words and phrases to hurt the male ego, and any hot-blooded young man would yield to the temptation. Or imagine a man trying to lure a young woman. She tries her best to stop his advances, but the man persists. He may resort to various means to lure her, and he may also try to hurt her ego by questioning her womanhood. Joseph was in a very difficult situation. He had to go to that house every day to perform his duties. And every day he faced the same situation. He had to face that woman every day. He had to complete the tasks and return without yielding to temptations. Let us look at verses 11 and 12. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, Lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. On this particular day and at this particular juncture, there were no other men in the house. This was the decisive moment. Two of them alone. Only the woman who desires him and he himself. One moment of carelessness, one thought of an easy way out would have had far-reaching consequences. But look at the second half of verse 12. He left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. This is it, brothers and sisters. If necessary, run away from temptation just like Joseph. Brothers and sisters, it requires an iron will to do what Joseph did. And God provided him with that iron will at the right time because his attitude towards God and man was righteous. Of course, you may argue that he landed in prison in spite of being innocent. But had he yielded to temptation, do you think Potiphar would not have come to know about it? Sooner or later, Potiphar would have come to know about the affair. Then Joseph's life would have been in danger. Probably Potiphar would have killed Joseph. By not yielding to temptation, though he was imprisoned wrongly, at the appropriate time, God placed the whole of Egypt into Joseph's hands. Joseph was used by God to save the lives of thousands of people because he did not yield to the temptation and was sincere to his master. I pray and hope that by choosing Joseph as their role model, the present day youth will overcome their temptations, be it drugs, alcohol, pornography, or any sort of immorality. God bless you.